So here's a true story. I'm asleep at night, and it's late. Had to be on a Wednesday, maybe 3:30 in the morning. My wife shakes me violently, wakes me up. I jump up, my heart beats racing. I'm all discombobulated. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? House on fire? What's happening? Somebody in the house? And she says, no. I woke you up because you were laughing so hard. I'm like, what? She said, yeah. And I wanted to know what you were dreaming of. I said, so wait a minute, let me get this straight. You woke me up to see what I was laughing at? She said, yeah, because it's a Wednesday night, 3:30 in the morning, and ain't no way you having that much fun. So here we are. We got another episode. This time we want to answer just one question. And this question is very personal. And it says, hey, Black Dad, who were some of your heroes growing up? Now, I want to do this off the rip. I'm going to exclude family members. I'm going to be like Troy Maxim when he said in the movie Fences, family does for you or your father and mother do for you because that's their job. I'm going to list 4 heroes that changed my life. I'm going to put them in no particular order except the first person. The first person deserves to be number 1. The rest we can interact, put them in the order we want to. So number 4, I'm going to start with my ex-father-in-law, Herc Hill. Herc was a man who was raising 2 daughters, a single father, something that you don't see a lot of, at least in the communities I hang at or I grew up in. And he really didn't want me around his daughter, which I wouldn't blame him. I was a knucklehead growing up in high school. I had an incident where Herc had a chance to peer behind the curtain, go behind the facade, and see this young black teenager. Now his goal was to keep this teenager away from his daughter at all costs. That was his goal. But after peering behind, like I said, that curtain and getting to know me, he saw how heavy the situation and life had appeared and was weighing down on my shoulders. And I remember Herc pulled me over one time, just talked to him, and he said, I could see that your plate can be heavy, that your burden is hard. He said, I want you to know that anytime you need a place to escape, a place to get away, a place to just let loose and relax, I want you to know you can come over here and you can just be part of the family and leave your worries at the doorstep. That allowed me an opportunity to always go back and just to regroup, just to set anew. And I'm gonna show you how important it is to me, what he said. When I joined the Marine Corps, I always tell people when I went to boot camp, I never remember sleeping. I know I slept because they made me get in the bed or the rack or the bunk, but I never felt it. It seemed like I went straight through boot camp 13 weeks, and we had an extra week because we were waiting for everybody to come together. 14 weeks of just staying awake. When I came home from boot camp, I did the visiting to everybody, and I still had not slept. And when I visited him, I fell asleep on his couch. And I tell you that was the most rest I had gotten in 14, 15 weeks. And so when he said, come and just lay your burdens down and leave them at the doorstep, he meant it. And that changed my life. And plus he was a positive black male. And I think that was beautiful to have in your life. Number 3, Mama Brim. Love you, Mama Brim. She was the type of mother that when I was growing up, I used to watch her. And I said, I want my wife to have those same mother characteristics that she had. She was a single mother. And me and her son, Deshaun, what's up, D? He was my brother from another mother. We were like thick as thieves. And she loved him so much that the love that she had in him overflowed and cascaded me. And she accepted me almost as if she had birthed me. There were times when I had problems I can go to her and she would give wisdom, she would give knowledge, she would give comfort, she would give love. And I saw her do this not only with her son, but she did it to me or with me. I had an incident that was traumatic. I went to Deshaun's house, and I explained the situation to him. He called his mother up on the phone. She talked to me. She was at work. And I remember her saying, Deshaun, tell him to go upstairs and just go to sleep. And when I get off work, I'll talk to him, and then we'll see how we can go forward to handle this. That right there is just one of those things. She didn't have to. She could have said that had nothing to do with me, but she said, I'm going to make it an issue with me, and I'm going to help you. Fast forward, my father passed away, I want to say in 2010 or something like that. I was given the responsibility to speak about my father, and I'm sitting up there talking to him. Everybody's looking at me, the family. And at a certain point, I broke down. And I didn't want to see everybody see me cry. You know, tough guy, don't want to cry. So I leave that area and somebody else takes over, and I'm standing in the waiting room where the front door is. I'm in there, I'm trying to wipe the tears from my eyes. And at that moment, Mama Brim is coming to the church. She said, and she sees me, I see her, and I instantly just go into her arms and she holds me. And she said, I can't stay to the funeral, I'm sorry I'm late, but I just wanted you to know that I was there, that I'm here for you. And that was just at that right time, at the right moment, she stepped back in and was Mama Brim. And she held me when at that moment I needed to be held. So that's why I say Mama Brim is another one of my heroes. Number 2 is a guy who I really knew. It's Lieutenant Bradley from the United States Marine Corps. After getting out of boot camp, learning my job, I go to a new base, alone, away from the house, away from family, friends, don't know nobody. You still have to get used to doing things as they say do them. Some of the negative things that we're taught, we carry with us. Made a mistake, straight out of school. So I've been in the Marine Corps for less than 5 months. And I messed up kind of big. Now the Marine Corps had a choice they could make. They could say, let's get rid of him because he just came in. But Lieutenant Bradley, who was from Southern Ohio, that's all I know, he was talking to me. I was 19. He had to be like 24, 25. And he went and told the commanding officer, do you understand how intelligent Varno is? How bright he is? But he said, before we do anything harsh to him, he needs to be responsible for what he did. So of course he said he's gonna have me clean the barracks and clean the bathrooms, the head, which we called it. He said, and I'm gonna have him do those kind of things. But he said, I wanna understand what's inside Varno. What made him do what he did? He sent me to what we called in the Marine Corps, the Wiz, which is a psychiatrist. Talking to psychiatrists, he showed me what was wrong with me. He showed me how growing up, there were certain things that had happened that were affecting my ability to go forward. This psychiatrist allowed me to say, yes, this is where I came from, this is what happened, but I don't have to repeat the past. I don't have to live in this cycle. I don't have to be a train track that just goes in a big loop. That psychiatrist changed my life and the way I look forward to approaching things, approaching the Marine Corps, approaching when I worked for the Sheriff's Department, approaching my family, my marriage. He changed my life. And that was all because Lieutenant Bradley saw something in me that he was like, I'm not going to let him go and fall by the wayside because I believe that he's a good person and all he needs is a little help. And the number one person that I want to talk about is number one for a reason. Elton John has a song. It says, it's called Someone Saved My Life Tonight. My wife, my family, they all know. I can't rave enough about her. It's Dr. Patricia Ackerman. She was my high school principal. This lady, this woman, this hero of mine, used everything in her toolbox to make sure I didn't fall. Here's something I'm going to share with you guys. I never told my kids this until they got out of high school, but see, I didn't graduate high school. I was in jeopardy of just falling away by the wayside. For some reason, and I don't know why, Dr. Ackerman said, come here, I'm going to save you. She gave me detention for 1,000 days, that's for sure. I think I still owe her detentions. Every day I had a detention. That was our deal. Every day I served detention. She told me that she wanted me to take the military test, the ASVAB. I knocked it out the park. And she said, see, you are smart. You are intelligent. And from there, she went about opening her toolbox to ensure that I joined the whatever service branch I wanted to join, because they all came to me. But she said, under one condition, when you join the service, you're going to get your GED, and we're going to put this behind us, and you're going to move forward. This lady used something I never heard of, and that you can't even use nowadays, but she knew how to use that, and she knew it was available. And she didn't use it for everybody, which I found out, but she used it for me. And she helped me go through the service. She helped me change my life. She helped me change the direction I was going in. And after finishing boot camp and finishing my schooling, the next thing I did was get my GED from the University of North Carolina. And I went back and showed her. So several years ago, my wife unexpectedly had the opportunity to meet Dr. Ackerman. My wife is at a function where they're honoring black women, different black women, professionals who've made a difference in the community. And one of the women they were honoring, or the guest honoree, was Dr. Ackerman. My wife is around a bunch of women, and she stops. She says, oh, I got to see her. I got to meet her. Where is she at? Who is she? They all say, do you know her? She says, I've heard about her for my whole marriage, about how she changed my husband and how she changed his life. And so she took a picture and she told Dr. Ackerman about how well and how well that I had done with her help, and how we have brought our children and taught them that education is everything. How this guy who was failing high school had put his kids through college, and were pushing the rest of them that they had to go to college. Was making sure they had this way. Was making sure they were in an education system that showed them the best education they can get. So Dr. Ackerman is number one to me. Without her, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be here. And when Elton John says it, and I hear those words, someone saved my life tonight, it was her. Those were my heroes. So please tell me, who are your heroes? Who are some people that stepped in and maybe changed the course of your life? You know, do you have any heroes? Are you a hero to somebody? Maybe you didn't have a hero, but you decided to be a hero. In closing, I like to leave you with this quote by Mother Teresa. The problem with our world is that we draw the circle of the family too small. Each one of my heroes could have said, he's not my family. I have no obligation to him. I owe him nothing. They didn't get anything out of helping me. There was no monetary gain. It was that love that they had just to say, I'm going to help this person, and maybe this person will help someone else. And that's how it works. When I coached kids in Little League football and basketball and baseball, and when I was room mother, that's all I wanted to do was say, you got to pass that forward. That love that somebody gave you, and you treat that child like they're your child. Remember to subscribe, to follow us on all the social media platforms. Share this with your family and friends. See what they say. Be willing to talk to your family and friends and tell them the people that have saved your life, the people that have stepped in and been them angels in time of need. Don't be ashamed. If those angels are still around, let them know. And 2 weeks from now, I'll see you again. And remember, I love you.